from the head table. All right, maybe if we get the room, we got a crackling microphone, we got missing speakers. Put the room quiet, maybe we can hear. All right, how about now? You folks in the back of the room, can you hear okay? So. I guess I'll just try and scream into this microphone. Folks, my name is Bill Urbanski. I am from Pennsylvania, and I am a high pointer. I have been suffering from this peculiar affliction since 2002. And for the new attendees here tonight, for new members of the club, let me assure you there is no cure. You just keep on coming back to these conventions, you keep on seeing the same old faces over and over again, but you know, you learn to live with it. But I will be serving as your MC this evening. I had the pleasure last year, this is my second year doing this, I had the pleasure last year to do it for the first time. Mick Dunn, our host from Massachusetts last year, tapped me as a substitute for Don Holmes, the great Don Holmes of Castle Rock, Colorado. Yes, Don was the banquet MC for our club for longer than anyone can remember, longer than Don can remember. But Don did not attend the banquet last year in Massachusetts. And for those of you who do not know the story, the reason why Don did not attend is because he and his lovely wife, Laverne, were celebrating their 60th wedding anniversary. And the story goes that there was a line in the sand drawn, so to speak, and Don was informed that if he attended the High Pointer Convention instead of their special anniversary concert, I believe, with Neil Diamond, there would not be a 61st. So I was brought on board as a substitute and was asked to come back again this year. But 60 years, imagine that, 60 years. You think climbing 50 high points is tough. Imagine being married 60 years to Don Holmes. I never met Laverne, but believe me, that woman is destined for sainthood. And with that healthy ribbing, I invite to the podium, Emcee Emeritus, the great Don Holmes.
I'll only be a minute. Can you hear me back here if I just talk loud enough? Well, Alan asked me to tell one story. And I thought I would pick one of two, and when I announce them, I'll tell the one that gets the least booze. There's one about Sherlock Holmes. And there's the other one about the moose hunters. Well, I'm going to tell Sherlock Holmes. Well, it seems that Sherlock Holmes and Dr. Watson were out camping, and they set up. Yeah, but I think I can. Is that loud enough? Okay, they were Sherlock Holmes and Dr. Watson were out camping, and they had dinner and set up their camp and everything, and they were going to bed and going to go to sleep. Well, about 3 o'clock in the morning, Holmes woke up and he nudged Watson and he said, "Hey, Watson, look up all those stars. What does that make you think of?" And Dr. Watson said, "Well, it makes me look at how insignificant we are in the universe. Astrologically, Mars in the house of the sun," and he went on about 5 or 6 things like that. And he nudged Holmes and he says, "Hey Holmes, what do you think? What do all those stars mean to you?" And Holmes said, "Watson, you boob, somebody stole our tent." I need to thank all of you for being here, especially the newbies. I hope you were willing to come back next year.
Thank you, Don. All right, at this time, I'm going to introduce our club president, who's also serving as the host to this year's convention. And what an amazing choice of a site here. Is this lodge amazing? President Dave Colwell is out there. Dave runs the foundation. Y'all did that project with the benches at the summits. That was really nice, and the signs and all, but you know what? We need to get some more money into the foundation or the club or somehow so we can build a lodge like this at all the summits all across the United States. With that, I will give you our club president and our host for Arkansas 18, Alan Ritter.
Thank you, Billy, and thank you, Don. You know, we're all very much into reuse and recycle. Don, you're a prime example with your stories. I just have a couple of things to say at this point. First of all is to thank all of you for coming, for spending your weekend with us, for attending the interpretive presentations by the Rangers. They did an outstanding job, and my congratulations and thanks to both Don and Jonathan, who did such a great job for us with that. And thanks to all of the staff at this facility. As you know, it's new and beautiful, and they have been very accommodating to our needs. So I really was pleased with everything here. One thing I do want to say, at our board meeting this afternoon, as all of you know, because you're all not wearing the same t-shirt, we had an issue that I won't go into in detail, but we had an issue with the t-shirts not getting here. The board authorized me to go ahead and ship those out to everyone who was registered. I've got to get them to my house somehow, and I'm not sure where they are yet, but we will. The shirts will show up. I do have one favor to ask, and that is, now families like Tim Webb and others, I'm going to bundle them together and ship them as one box because it'll be cheaper. If there are any of you who have friends in town or friends that you see regularly and you would like me to, again, bundle 2 or 4 or 8 or whatever it is, t-shirts together, if you will let me know, and my email address is still on the website in the convention contact information, send me an email, tell me 2 things. Everybody's t-shirt that you want sent and what address to send it to. And that will let me bundle them together and ship out 4 or 8 or something instead of onesies, twosies at a time. You may. I know all the sizes. Now, everybody who is registered, we have the sizes, and the order was placed per your registration information. Now, if your registration information says an S and you really wanted a 2XL, yeah, it could be a problem. But no, the sizes are all accounted for. I just need a list of names and an address to which I'm sending it. And I'll be more than happy to bundle them together and let you sort them out when they get to you. So again, thank you very much for attending. We'll look forward to seeing you at future conventions. And it's been a great pleasure, and it's been my privilege to be your host for this year. Thank you.
Thank you, Alan. This is the point in the program where I'd like to introduce and recognize the members of the club's board of directors. We have a number of them in attendance here today, so I'll read them out in no particular order. Alan Ritter. I'll ask you also to please stand when I recognize you and hold your applause to the end. Alan Ritter, Mark Comstock, Jim Sutton, Mick Dunn, Don Holmes, John Keeter, Gary Zleck,
Close enough.
I think I actually have it spelled right, Gary, on my notes here. Pronunciation's another story. George Painter, Lillian Elliott, there's Lillian, and Timmy Webb. It's your board of directors, folks. I'd also like to take a moment to pay some special recognition to Tim Webb. Tim just stepped down as our president, apparently concerned about the possible impeachment proceedings if the Democrats take the House. So he got out while getting was good. But now Tim has served us for 10 years as club president, longer than anyone but for Jack Longacre. I think we all owe him a huge debt of gratitude and a big round of applause. Thank you, Tim Webb, for all you've done for our club. You know, I actually attended the board of directors meeting this afternoon. I showed up a little late because Charlie Winger and I were out rock climbing, and that man can dance on rock at his age. It's amazing. We had a great time. I showed up a little bit late, and I got to tell you, despite a lot of the predictions to the contrary, there were no fireworks, no fisticuffs. There was a lot of cordiality. There was a lot of friendship. There was a lot of cooperation. And I think it's a sign of some very good things to come. We are all, after all, high pointers. We're all a family here. We are all a very geographically diverse, very eccentric, some more eccentric than others, but a family nonetheless. And it was good to see that love at the board of directors meeting this afternoon. So, we're at the point in the program where we'd like to recognize all the completers, the 48 and 50 completers. I have a long list that has been presented to me of the folks who have just completed 48 and 50 within the past year, since the last convention. So I'm going to read through them and give them their appropriate recognition. If any of you folks are here with us today, please stand when I read your name and remain standing. So the 48 finishers we've had since last convention are Brian Council, John Lemberg, Wesley Hilton, George Crandall, Michael Baer, Ronald Schill, Don Smalley, Norman Michaels, Mark Golub, Susanna Johnston, Stephen Kramer, Ken Curtis, Scott Lehman, Billy and Judy McDonough, Robert Weiss, Rick Beckham, Joseph Snoha, and Mark Gerlicki. None of those 48ers are with us today. I got one in the back. Who's that? Congratulations. Now, the 50 completers within the past year, we have Will Stoll, Nigel Roberts, Stephen Eyertson, Stu Frank, Jeff Gephardt, Joan Zardis, Michael Doherty, Mark Burkett, Bruce Friedman, Bruce and Sharon Dawson, Tony Cobb, Ken Curtis, Derek Rutledge, Kevin Baker, and Melissa Reed and Maddie Miller. They, I believe, did it together and they set the speed record. Is that right? Any of those folks? Yeah. Okay. Congratulations. Remain standing because we're going to go ahead and we'll recognize all the 50 completers that are with us today. So if you have your 50 high points, please stand and receive your grand adieu. Remain standing. But we can have folks that are 49ers stand up and be recognized. Who's a 49er? All right, how about the 48ers? Everyone please continue to stand. 48 completers. All right, now you people sit down. All you people get enough recognition the way it is. Talked about this last year. You got your special pictures. You got your special newsletter articles. We're going to now recognize the underachievers of our group. Now we're going to go in descending order. So those who have 47 high points, please stand. Those with 46. 45. 44. Yeah, please remain standing. 43. 42. You know, it's amazing. Everyone's obviously has cell phones these days, right? No one knows their cell phone numbers anymore, right? Maybe your own, but none of your friends. But we all know our high pointer numbers. And we know where we're going next if we're going to complete that list and what our loose plans are. All right, 42. Did I skip 43? 42. 41. 40. 30 or more. 30 or more. 20 or more. 20 or more. 10 or more. 5 or more. 5 or more. All right, now you people sit down. Everyone sit down. Who's got one? Who's got one high point? I'm assuming that's Arkansas. All right. Okay, while we're at it, we're going to recognize the folks that have attended the most conventions. Who's got the most conventions? There have been 32. This is the 32nd annual High Pointer Convention. How many? 30 conventions. And we might as well go down through a list here. Who's got 20 or more conventions? Ten or more conventions. 10 or more conventions. How about 5 or more? All right, all you folks sit down. Who's first convention? Who's got their first convention here today in Arkansas? All right. I'd like to recognize the oldest high pointer in attendance today. Who's willing to admit it? How old? 93? 93? That would be 93. How about our youngest high pointer? Youngest high pointer in attendance today. In the back of the room? How old? We always like to recognize also the family that has the most members in attendance today. Timmy Webb, how many you got? 4? And it would beat the Webbs with 4. 5 in the back. What's the family? 9. What's the family and where are you from? What's the name of the family and where are you from? You're locals. You're cheating. So with that, the reverse of that, you're probably the shortest traveled. Who's the farthest traveled here to come here to the convention? Now, Jacques and Liddy don't count. No, seriously, I talked to Liddy earlier today. On Wednesday night, she stayed in Branson, Missouri. She came here from Branson, Missouri. She's only getting credit for Branson. Can anyone beat 150 miles? Who can beat 150 miles? Oregon, California. I think West Coast is farther from like East Coast.
San Diego? San Diego.
I'm guessing San Diego. San Diego's probably about 1,700. I googled Sacramento's about 15.
No, it's further than San Diego.
1550. Not the way you drive. I don't even know what that means. But I think San Diego probably has you beat, Jim. Seattle, possibly. It's the West Coast's definitely farther from Arkansas than the East, so I think we'll give our winner to Seattle. 1,750 miles. All right. Any folks other than Jacques and Liddy from outside the United States? So Jacques and Liddy, you're only international customers here today. How about that? Congratulations. Congratulations. How's Queen Beatrix, by the way? Doing well? Queen Beatrix.
Well, she's not a queen anymore.
I understand that, but she's still alive. She's still with us.
She's a princess, and she's doing fine.
All right, I'm going to turn the program back over now to our club president, Alan Ritter, and he's going to begin our annual membership meeting.